Wanted to take a few moments here and talk about the importance of ground products, namely ground beef. There was a consumer report that came out and it talked about how in 300 samples that were pulled, the majority of them had fecal matter in it. The chart that I first began with is our zero tolerance for fecal matter. So this is our harvest floor. Animals will enter here and they go through our process, and this is really where the part begins where you're going to be very careful about cross-contamination of fecal matter onto the products that we actually eat. We do everything in a slow artisan style environment, and that means that the fecal matter that is present in the animal's environment, we do not cross-contaminate onto the carcass. We do that by carefully hand trimming, and you can only do that when you slow the process down, and it certainly can't be done in a large-scale operation or as efficiently in a large-scale operation. After the carcass has been completely removed of the hide, it will go onto our rail, and this is where we do an inspection, and we have a zero fecal matter policy. So an employee and a USDA inspector will both look over the carcass and verify that there is no cross-contamination of fecal matter. After that, our product will enter our dry aging cooler, where we have carcasses where they dry age. Now that step is important too, because dry aging naturally reduces the pathogen risk if there were one on a carcass. At a 34-degree environment, a pathogen simply couldn't survive for this period of time. After that, everything enters our processing floor, and this is where we do our breakdown and we do our further processing into steaks, things like that you see over there. And this table is where everything is carefully hand trimmed, ligaments, bones are removed, all done by hand, all done in an artisan style setting. And this is what we turn into ground beef. It's simply steak and roast trimmings off of a single carcass that we know has been verified to not have any visual contamination. It will go up into our meat grinders, where we first do a coarse grind, finally a fine grind, and then we bulk it out into our ground beef. Now, we don't just end the process there. We also go one step further, and we send products out to a lab to verify that although we are certain they have no visual contamination, there aren't any pathogens, microbiological pathogens that we cannot see. So I'm going to share those results with you. We've never had a positive for salmonella or E. coli in this facility, and we're also going to get a little bit of footage of the final product. There it is. And then we pack it up, seal it up, and flash freeze it. So there you have it. That's our process basically from start to finish, beginning with the harvest, which we know we do it personally, so we take extra care to make sure that we don't have cross-contamination from the carcass, or rather from the hide to the carcass. We have that zero tolerance for fecal matter, visual fecal matter that goes on the carcass. We do our dry aging process, which is generally 13, 14 days, which is well beyond the study times have results. So in other words, like, there's studies out there that suggest that after 6 days, the risk of pathogens is dramatically reduced if there were a pathogen risk on the carcass, something that was non-visual. So obviously 13, 14 days is going to have a dramatic effect on reduction of unseen pathogens if they were present. When we bring those carcasses out of our cooler, we carefully hand trim them. We're also moving this through our process quickly so the temperature never rises beyond a safe level. And then followed by our, what we'll do is we'll do several different things we'll send out to the lab. We do surface testing, so we'll swab our work surfaces. We'll do carcass testing where we'll actually swab the exterior of the carcass, and then we do the ground samples where we send out actual pound of ground beef just like you would buy in our store, and we have it independently tested by a lab to prove that our results are working. And I'm thrilled to say that in all of our years, we've never, ever had a positive. So it proves our results, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about our process. We want you to know that if you shop here, you're going to get the safest, healthiest, most sustainable product that we know how to produce. Your food dollars are supporting the family that operates this, the families that operate the farms, and the sustainability of a culture that will continue to feed our children with the safest, healthiest meat that you can find. As always, we're happy to share results. Transparency is our big thing. If you want to see any of these results, the laboratory testing that I talked about, just ask us. You can send us an email at whitefeathermeats@gmail.com. Give us a call, 330-435-6300. We want you to know that our obligation, our goal to you, our customer, is to make sure that when you hear a report about something in the news, the media, or this Consumer Reports article that I alluded to, you can feel safe shopping at Whitefeather. That's our #1 goal. So, as always, the crew here at Whitefeather Meats wants you to know that we're on your side.